Privacy 2, or the atmosphere of the Crucible and the final of this year's World Snooker Championship.
I've been here before, know what to expect. I'm just going to enjoy the final World Championships, and it's great to be there.
It's worth all the pain getting to this one. It's my first final, and it's a dream come true.
Good evening. Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ali Carter have already created history here in the Crucible Theatre this week. They've each knocked in a maximum 147 break, and in the process they've had to share the £157,000 jackpot between them. But only one of those men can claim the title in this year's 888.com World Championship final. Well, this is the impressive and rather daunting view which will greet the both of them very soon. But the perspective for the crowd, and indeed for Ray, is rather different upstairs.
A flight of stairs up from where Hazel is. This is the area where tonight's spectators gathered before the doors to the main theatre opened. It's going to be all change up here next year. The Crucible is undergoing a major redevelopment. Work has been suspended during this championship. But the thing is, once you get through these doors, the history of the tournament hits you right between the eye. Nothing will be done that will affect the unique Crucible atmosphere. An atmosphere that Ronnie and Ali experienced this afternoon when they played the first 8 frames of this year's final.
A contest, as we hope, or a coronation.
Foul. Ali Carter, 24.
Well, where's the red going? Where's the red going?
23.
1-0 to O'Sullivan. It really does have a unique ambience.
PG, and a frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He leads by 2 frames to 0.
You could say it live, the rocket has lifted off.
It's already looking very ominous for Carter.
Very good response from Ali Carter here now. Can he keep it going? He's got the century.
104.
Ronnie O'Sullivan goes another frame in front. It's now 4-1.
Thank you.
This is a frame Ali Carter should have lost. This could give him the confidence he needs.
Hand on the table, and this frame ball.
1.
But Ali Carter knows he's got a little bit of a hill to climb already. The first session goes to O'Sullivan. He takes the opening session by 6 frames to 2.
Well, I'm in my first ranking final, and I'm 6-2 behind, and I'm nervous. Forget about the session that's gone. Don't look to tomorrow. Stay in this session, one session at a time. But I want to win the first couple of frames tonight. Forget about the frame you've played. Don't look to the frames you're playing in the future. One frame at a time. But what happens if I miss an early ball in the first frame? Forget about the board you played. Don't look to the board you're going to play in the future. One ball at a time. I hate this 10 minutes before you go out. So do I. I'm nervous. Good luck.
Thanks.
In all seriousness, Ali's got to do a job on Ronnie this evening. He'd love to win the session at least 5-3. I think his way forward, he's got to enjoy himself, let his natural ability do the talking and do what he's done so well this week, not beat himself up in the chair if things start to go wrong.
You know, the best piece of advice I was given by this late great gentleman here, former world champion John Pullman, he said, ignore the scoreboard and just play every individual frame as if it's a match.
Very wise words indeed.
Well, after 2 weeks of play, more than 2 weeks in fact, here in Sheffield, this final is a marathon within a marathon. It's played over 2 full days, it's best of 35 frames, and it's time for these men to summon yet one more surge of adrenaline. Happily, our MC Rob Walker can always help with that. Over to you, Rob.
Thanks, Hazel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second session of your World Championship Final 2008, and they are seriously up for it here tonight in the Crucible. For the second time today, let's get the Essex boys on the base. Please welcome a player in the form of his life, taking part in his first Crucible final, coming through an epic semi-final against Joe Perry. He nailed a 147 on Tuesday. He's been flying for a fortnight. That's why they call him Captain Fantastic, Ali Carter. And his opponent, the most naturally gifted player ever to grace the game. Securing his 9th career 147 on Monday, playing some of the best snooker ever seen in his semi-final against Stephen Hendry. Bidding for a 3rd world title. Don't take your eyes off him for a second, because Blinken, you've missed him. Here comes the rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
What a stage. Ronnie already in the driving seat in this final. Can 28-year-old Carter put the brakes on him this evening? All ready to find out in the commentary box. We welcome Dennis Taylor and Willie Thorne. Good evening, gentlemen.
A very good evening, Hazel, and a very good evening to everyone at home. This could be the very important session.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 9. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
As Steve Davis and John Parrott said, 1 frame at a time, 1 shot at a time. That's all you can do when you're 4 behind against a genius.